hide you. Good morning, everybody. LaShawn here with another uh, guest for my new series of Sailing Mamas Without Their Children. Okay, whether you're single, solo, or you decide to go with a partner, boo thing, what have you, the point is you are leaving your babies behind. How that feels, how that truly impacts you as a woman to go on a cruise for self-care, just for you, to have that downtime, that respite, to really take off that mom hat and all the duties that come with that and just care for you. So we're going to get into that today. I am so excited to talk to my guest, Miss Electa, who has actually been on several cruises without her baby daughter. Miss Electa is ADHD like myself, and her daughter is also ADHD like my son. So we are both parents sharing the diagnosis with our children. So, Miss Electa, thank you so much for being here and agreeing to do the interview with me today.
Of course. So happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm so excited to get into this because I really think you sharing your story and your experience is going to help other moms like you, especially moms of neurodivergent children, to understand and really give them that confidence, that boost to go ahead and book a cruise. If cruising's not for you, book something where you
Yeah,
can have self-care away from your child.
100%. I
Yes.
am a very strong advocate of that. I do believe that moms, parents need that care for themselves. I think for me, parenting is much harder than I anticipated it would be. So the breaks are so necessary for me to prioritize my mental health as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree with that because I hadn't my son was born 2 months early. It was only
Mhm.
2.5 pounds. There were
Wow.
no books, no videos, no nothing out there about that back
Yeah.
when I had him.
Yeah.
He was born 2003. There was nothing out there to give
Yeah.
me assistance or prepare me for that. There were no support groups. There were no, I didn't even know anybody who had a baby that early and that low birth weight. Of course,
Hmm.
they're out there, but I didn't know anybody. So there was nobody for me to talk to get advice from, to get support from.
Yeah.
But God is good, so He supplied all of that support groups, everything. The
Yeah.
hospital did a lot to help me prepare to take him home and
Hmm.
all of that, but it was still a lot. So I was very anxious for a long time
Mm.
before I would travel without him. So a lot of times I just ended up taking him with me.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
Hmm.
I feel that
Yeah,
100%.
I just was not comfortable. And not to say I didn't trust anybody else with him, I just didn't feel comfortable
Yeah. And trust is
putting
a
that out
very,
there because there's an extra layer when you have a neurodivergent child. There's extra things that he needs that extra routine. Sometimes he needs the downtime. He had a special diet for a while of things that he could not have, and I had to place him with people that I trusted to follow that diet, not just, oh, it's the weekend, yeah, we're gonna let him do. No.
yeah. Yeah. That is super important. So I would love to talk about that piece a little bit because I struggle with that as well. When the whole idea of like a village for a mom comes into place, right? You think of your immediate family or your extended
Hmm.
family. You think
Hmm.
about your mom, your aunts, your uncles, like all these people that you have grown up around.
Yeah,
But I find sometimes when you tap into that village, they want the leniency there, right? They want
yeah,
to be able to care for your child in the way that
the way
they
they
want
want.
to
Hmm. Hmm.
and not necessarily the way that you would prefer them to.
Yes,
So
yes,
this just caused me to kind of like outsource my village a little bit.
yeah.
Um,
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to. You're the mom, and they've got to learn to respect that.
yeah, 100%.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
So,
I understand
um,
that totally. Yeah.
So we did have a situation like that where, you know, we had someone who was caring for our child and they were being very lackadaisical. I was
Yes.
a nursing mama, so I pumped for my baby while I was at work, and
Hmm.
it was just kind of like they were really adamant about supplementing with formula, and I was very much against that because I was
Yeah.
like, I am not doing all of this
No.
for my child to drink formula. So we wound up just being like, you know what, we are gonna find care that aligns with what and how we want to parent.
Yep. And that is okay. You're the mom. It's your choice. And family loves you and they care about you like they say. They will understand. Your feelings probably be hurt, but they will understand. That's your child. You make the decisions. Yeah. That's a whole nother video, girl.
Yeah,
That's
for
a whole
sure.
nother video. Okay, so now you've been on several cruises. Take me back to the first cruise that you went on with your child. Let me bring up my questions.
Okay, sure.
So, what was your initial reaction when you first considered the idea of going on a cruise without your neurodivergent child? How did you feel?
So the first one, we didn't know she had ADHD yet. I hadn't
Mhm,
even been diagnosed yet. I got a late diagnosis about a year ago. And
mhm.
when I brought it up to her pediatrician, was like, hey, I got diagnosed. I'm seeing some similar early signs with me. And she's like, yeah, that seems likely.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah, because it's highly
so
hereditary. Yeah,
yeah, especially from mom to child. So
exactly.
so back when we did our first one, she was pretty young. So she was 3. Um, it was my 35th birthday, and
Hmm.
I really wanted to do something big. COVID was starting to slowly like make its way out, and guidelines and restrictions were loosening up a bit. So
Hmm.
I was like, and I had done really well at work. I got a really nice bonus. Like I was like, okay, I want to do
Let's
something.
go.
Yeah, I was super excited. So I was like, I want to do something fun with this money. Um, I love to travel. It's always been like a big part of my life. Becoming a mom, and with COVID, I had to put that on hold for a little bit and just be like, okay, we just got to focus on what's right in front of us. But I kind of booked it not really like 100% sure about it. I knew that
Uh-huh.
it was something that I needed. Like I knew that I needed some time to myself to reset, but I still had hesitancy even once I pressed that submit button and was
Yeah.
confirmed.
Hmm.
Um so then it's like, okay, who's going to take care of our kid, right? Like we can't go anywhere without childcare. So
Hmm.
for that particular trip, it was a combination of my dad and a friend of ours who also sat for us regularly. Them two, we kind of created like a dream team and said, okay, I created a plan. I still to this day, when we travel, I have a cheat sheet that I supply to anyone who's going to care for my child that has everything: what she eats, where her school is, emergency contact list, where we're going to be, how long we're going to be there, what's the
Yes.
like everything is on there. And every time I've had the same one since the first
Hmm.
trip, and every time we travel, I just update it with current information and add things and remove things as needed. But it was really having thorough conversations with the people who were going to care for my child and being like, okay,
Hmm.
like I still feel really anxious about this. I also have anxiety. I
Me
still
too. Yeah.
really anxious about this, and like I am going to seem like a crazy helicopter mom, and I just need y'all to bear with me while I
Yeah.
work my way through this.
Yep. Yep. Okay. So how did you prepare yourself and your children for your solo cruise? Now, you already said that you have a list that you've prepared and you make sure everybody gets that. So how did you prepare yourself for this?
That part was a lot more challenging. Because I think mentally I knew that I needed it, but it still was a huge barrier to overcome, especially the first one. I think as
Yeah.
time has gone on, because this will be our third coming up, um, it's become a little bit easier each time. But that
Hmm.
first time, I had
Yeah.
this very, very strong sense of anxiousness about it,
Yeah.
where I
Yeah.
was just like, I'm not sure if I'm making the right decision. Like, am I a bad mom because I'm leaving my kid? Like, is it really that important that I do this? I started to have all of these doubts, right?
Hmm.
I'm in therapy. I've been in therapy for a long time. So these were discussions that I had with my therapist.
Yeah.
Um, really combating those inner thoughts with what is actually true, right? So you know
Hmm.
you're not a bad mom. You know that you love your child more than anything. You know that these things are important for your own mental health. Um, a lot of your child's happiness is going to come from whether or not you're happy. And
Hmm.
I knew that this was something that would make me happy. So
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
lots of conversations, but yeah,
And therapy, you guys, it doesn't have the negative connotation that it used to have, or it shouldn't.
no.
Therapy can be used in such a beneficial way. It can just be used as that third party that's not connected to have that support, because a
Mm,
lot of times you don't get it within your inner circle, so but you need it somewhere. You can get that from a therapist. My therapist was my biggest cheerleader for a long time. I started with her for grief counseling,
mm-hmm,
and then we went on for some other things that she was seeing with me, because I had had an accident and then other stuff before
mm-hmm.
the grief. And she was like, "You haven't even dealt with the accident and all of that." So
Yeah.
it was just, and the job was giving me problems because I had been out for so long because of the accident. And then the death happened during my recovery of the accident.
Oh
So
no.
they were acting crazy about that. And she
Yeah.
really, really helped me through that time just as a support person. So it can be used for that. And even if you do go through therapy, nobody's going to know unless you tell them. So it shouldn't even be a
100%.
shameful thing.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to know unless you tell them.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
you.
really
That is for
glad.
you. It's really nobody else's business unless they're paying for your session. Then yeah,
Hello.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm glad that we as a collective have been a little bit more open to the idea of therapy. I think that whether you have mental health issues or not, therapy can be a really good place to feel safe and to
Hmm.
express your like true authentic self, right?
Yes, it's a non-judgmental, safe space, and
Yes,
everybody needs that. Everybody,
100%. And I
because
can
a lot of
relate.
times we don't get it from where we think we're gonna get it.
Oh yeah.
A lot of
Oh
times we
yeah.
don't.
Yeah, I definitely therapy has changed my life in so many ways. I'm a huge advocate for therapy. I tell people all the time, like it's a good place to just have a
Hmm.
sounding board. I relate to
Yeah.
you in that I also started my therapy journey through needing grief counseling. My brother had passed away in 2020 from COVID, and it was very sudden, and I had no idea how to deal with that, right? People are dying left and right. It is
Yes.
very heavy, like the general environment of everyone is just so heavy. And then
Hmm.
going through a personal loss of someone in your immediate family, it was even heavier. So
Yeah.
I really needed that in that moment in time in my life to work through my grief because I didn't know what to do with it. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I was yeah.
Cruising actually helped me a whole lot to
Mm-hmm.
get through that grieving period. Because, like I said, my job was giving me a hard time. I was grieving. I was still recuperating from the near fatal accident, because that accident nearly took me off this planet.
Mm-hmm.
My son was trying to deal with all that, and cruising really, really helped me to just literally calm all of that chaos.
Nice.
I needed to really step away from that. And for me, cruising is like a true vacation to actually get away from it all.
Mhm.
People can't just pick up the phone and say, "Hey." I know you're out of state, but can you come back? Can you
Yeah,
catch a plane? It's not that easy when you're on a cruise ship. So
no, not easy at
yeah,
all.
I'll deal with it when I get back.
Whatever it is, it has to wait.
Whatever it is, I'll deal with it again. But there's nothing I can do. I'm in the middle of the ocean, so it really gives you that time away to just be away, not have to be mom, not have to be caregiver, not have to make anybody's meals, not have to think about school and schedules and
Yeah.
pickups and drop-offs and aftercare and bed
Hmm.
schedules and fighting to get them up in the morning. To me, that's what solo cruising is all about. I don't have to deal with any of that
Yeah.
or any kind of cruising really without your children.
Yeah.
You're
No.
leaving all those duties behind, and we need to be able to take that break as moms.
Oh yeah, 100%. My favorite part about being on a cruise or just being on vacation in general without my child is being able to wake up whenever I want, right?
Yes,
Like, nobody's
yes,
waking me up. Nobody's expecting me to make breakfast. No one's needing to go to dropped off at school. Like, I can
yes,
just
yes.
wake up and just like have a moment, breathe, look at the sun, like just have
Yes.
quiet.
And
It's a
don't have to rush and eat breakfast or fix breakfast. That's what I love. I don't have to fix anything because I hate cooking as it is. On a cruise, I don't have to cook a thing.
nope, no
I
cooking at
can go
all.
eat in my room if I want to, and no,
Mhm.
like you said, nobody's bothering me.
Mhm.
I can eat all day in my room. I can
Yep.
stay in my room all day if I want to. Just
Yep.
sit out on my balcony if that's what I want to do.
For sure.
I don't have to worry about if we've made plans and at the last minute I change my mind and don't want to do it because I will do that. I do things depending on how I feel now because I'm able to do that.
Yeah.
On a solo cruise, I could book an excursion and decide I don't want to go.
Mhm.
I don't have to worry about hurting anybody's feelings or somebody being mad because that's what they really wanted to do. I
Yeah.
don't want to deal with that. So I love it. I absolutely love having that freedom.
Nice.
Let's see where are we. So how did you ensure that your children were well taken care of while you were away? So you said you put the list in place.
Mhm.
And was there anything else that you did? Like, were there anything that you did before, like maybe take them on like a little mini vacation or some kind of extra day out with her before you left? Was there anything that you did like that?
Yeah, so we are at the point now where we take a family trip every year and we take a solo trip every year. So our family trip is always before our solo trip. So that's our
Yeah.
time to really reconnect as a family, to leave everything else behind, make sure like I try to put my phone down as often as possible when we're together traveling as a family. So just
Hmm.
like we can really connect with each other. So she knows like she is loved and supported and really, really gets to appreciate those moments. Um, so that's one major thing. Also, we decided no shade to my dad because he did a great job with her first time around.
Hmm.
But for subsequent trips, we decided to just go ahead and hire childcare. Um, my dad is older,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
my child is very young and very
Young.
active.
Yeah. Energy.
Energy at
Say
100%.
say no more. Yeah, because that's how my adopted dad was when because he would agree to stay with him a lot, but I'm like the energy would just wear him out. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take him with me. It's okay.
Yeah, like there was like a point where I was like,
Especially especially when they're an ADHD child. People don't understand that ADHD kids have like energy times 10. It's
yes,
not the regular, oh, that's just a child, that's what they do. No, this is like,
they just
oh,
keep
it's just
going and
through the
going
roof, girl. Oh, nonstop.
nonstop
Nonstop. They don't get tired. They
at
don't get
all.
sleepy. It's like when they're tired or sleepy, it's like they're wound up more.
Yes, 100%.
Like,
That is,
Lord.
you're literally describing my child to
Oh
a
my God.
T. I can
That was
100% relate to that.
man. Oh my gosh.
So she's super high energy.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep her busy, right? She's in
Yeah.
gymnastics, she's in
Mm-hmm.
swim, she dabbled in
Yeah.
cheerleading. Like
Yeah,
we've done.
swim is a good idea. I found that the water really helped to knock him out.
Yes, yes. When we do
Putting them
like
in
a day.
swimming, taking them to a water park, taking them
Yeah,
to the community pool, parks and rec, anything water, getting them in there, swimming, moving around, playing, that helps to wipe them out.
yes,
And they will
100%.
sleep like they have never slept before. You have a pool. If you have a pool where you live in the community, or like I said, parks and rec, take them to that pool, and
Hmm.
that will definitely burn off a lot of that energy.
Yes,
That
for
helps
sure.
so much. That's actually one of the things parents can do if you can't afford to do a vacation before your vacation, because I know everybody can't afford to do that.
Hmm.
That's a good idea. Take them if they like swimming and being in the water. You don't want to force it. Don't do that if it's just something you think is a good idea.
Hmm.
You want it to be something that your child really enjoys, and take them to do that, even just for the day.
Yeah, a
Take
hundred.
one of your leave days, take them all out for the day, all day, first thing in the morning. I mean, you ain't got to get up with the chickens, but, you know, from the morning until, even eat dinner out. So you're
Hmm.
not cooking and all of that at home.
Yep.
And that's their special day before you go on your cruise. That's just a way to do that.
Hmm.
If you have a hotel near you, or
Hmm.
like driving like an hour or two, take them to the hotel overnight or for a weekend. My son and I used to do that a lot just to get
Yeah.
away. I couldn't always cruise as often as I wanted to,
Yeah.
but we did a lot of the local hotel stays. And people at work were like, "Why are you spending money to go to a hotel?" I said, "Because it's a hotel.
And
I
yes,
don't have to cook anything. I don't have to plan anything. I don't have to pick up anything.
I
I don't
don't have
have
to
to make
clean.
beds. I don't have to clean anything. I
Hmm.
don't have to answer the phone if I don't want to.
Yep.
My child is with me, so nobody really needs to be calling me."
Yeah.
That's for me. That's what getting away was. Even if I had to take him, yes, I had duties to do as a mom to take care of him, but it was different being at a hotel. It was just different.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But you definitely still need to find a way to have that time for you. And you
Hmm.
may not be able to go for a whole week or 4 nights. Again, do a weekend.
Yeah.
Send them to grandma's or whoever is the caregiver that you've decided to. While they're away, you go away.
Hmm.
Don't go back home and start cleaning up and, oh, look at this mess. No, no. When you drop them off, you go somewhere, to the hotel, to a resort, to the beach, whatever. If you're not able to do that, even take a day off. Like I said, while that child is at daycare or they're at school, take a day off from work and
Hmm.
you go somewhere just for you. You've got to find ways to do that. Those
Yeah.
are just some ideas of how I used to do it, because I know it's hard to sometimes maneuver that either with money or
Hmm.
time or both.
Yeah.
Or you can't find somebody to take care of them. Then
Hmm.
do it while they're in school. They go to school or they go to daycare. Do it
Hmm.
then. You do it then. There's
Yeah.
ways around it. Yeah.
I've done that as well. We did a day trip for my birthday.
Hmm.
Um, we dropped her off at daycare, drove to the beach, and spent the day at the beach. Came back, picked her up, and we all went home.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, what were your biggest challenges you faced before and during your solo cruise? I know guilt is definitely a big one for a lot of parents. How did you address that? I know you went over that some, but can you really dig into that for those parents who are just really struggling with that, especially if they've done like you, they booked the cruise and they may go back and say, "Yeah, no, I can't do this," and they just cancel it or push it back. "Yeah, we'll do this next year."
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And again, my child is pretty young, so I think my first initial thought was, are people going to judge me? Right. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, she's only 3. You're already leaving her. Like, why would you do
Yes.
that? Like, you need to wait till
Yes.
she's older and all of this stuff.
Because an ADHD 3-year-old, you need a break. It's like having 2 children. They don't get it. Having an
Oh,
ADHD hyper child is like having 2 children.
it literally
Oh
is.
my
And
God.
I told people that, like, I remember as a first time parent, I was like, is this normal? Because I feel like this girl is just bouncing off the walls all
Like the
day long.
Energizer
So
bunny
great.
on crack, girl. Like the
And
Energizer bunny on crack.
people are like, all kids have tons of energy. I was like,
Yes.
no, this is
Yes.
different.
I
Like,
got so sick of hearing that. I got so sick of hearing that. Because like you said, it feels like you're being judged. Like,
yes.
and for
Everyone's
me,
like,
I'm like, okay, I know I'm a new mom. I
yeah,
know I don't always know what I'm doing and what's going on, but I'm telling you something is different.
yeah. And
Whether
you
you
know your
agree with it or
child.
not doesn't make me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm
You
still the
know
mom.
100%. You
I'm
know
still the
your
mom.
child and you know what normal feels like for them and what normal
Yes,
doesn't feel
yes,
like
I'm
for them.
right. Right.
And it took people seeing her and seeing how her energy
Yes,
was.
yes. Because once they see it, they're like, oh my
Oh my
God.
God.
Is he like this all the time? I would get that a lot. Oh my God, is he like this all the time?
All day?
Yes, all
Yes.
the time.
All
All the time.
day.
All day, all night, from the minute he gets up at 6 something in the morning looking for breakfast. Yeah.
100%. So yes,
Whew.
it was that fear of judgment, and then my own inner feelings of battling, like, am I doing
Am
the
I
right
a bad
thing as
mom?
a mom? Right?
Hmm.
Like, am I being selfish? And
Yeah.
is this like not the right time? Should I not do this? I
Right.
remember the first time I ever left her. There was 2 times I could think of specifically. So I used to travel a lot for work, about once a quarter or so
Mhm.
for like 2, 3 days at a time. And the first time I ever left her for work, I like bawled my eyes out in the cab on the way to the
Yes.
Uber. I mean, on the way to
Yes.
the airport. Like, I
Been
felt
there, done that. Hmm.
awful. I was like, I'm leaving. She's with her dad, so it's not
Yes, they're fine. They are fine. Yeah,
like,
we're
it's not like
balling
she
like
was
babies.
like with the, with someone or not safe or not being cared for. Like, she was
Right.
very well cared for, but it's this enormous amount of guilt that you feel as a mom for leaving your child.
Hmm.
Even
Yep.
the first trip we took without her, I still cried on the way to the airport because I'm just
Hmm.
like, this is really emotional. And
Yeah.
for moms out there that are watching this, that are thinking about traveling or have traveling come up, I just want to say it is perfectly normal to miss your child.
Yeah.
It is perfectly normal for you to have doubts about leaving your child.
Hmm.
Those feelings are okay. And I think one of the things that we need to remember is how you build a healthy attachment style with your child is by leaving and coming back, right? Because
Yes.
your child
Yes.
has to know, okay, mommy's
That
going to
mom is
leave,
gonna go
but
away,
I
but
know she's
she's,
going to come back.
yeah. Yes.
And the more you do that, the more comfortable your child becomes with this idea because
Hmm.
they know that you're coming back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, So it was very emotional for me and lots of guilt and lots of just I remember that first night because we I typically fly in the night before or the day
Absolutely.
before
Absolutely. Yes.
and stay a night in a
That's a
hotel.
must. That
That's a
is a
must.
must. Yeah. Mm-mm. I
'Cause
don't
you
like that stress. I don't
yeah,
like that stress of going the day of because you never know what's gonna happen.
happen. And it's too
You never
stressful for
know.
me.
Mm-mm. Too
So
stressful.
I remember that first night, like in the hotel, I did not sleep very well. Like I kind
Yeah.
of tossed and turned and was very
Yep.
anxious about it and feeling like, oh my God, like my baby's not here.
Hmm.
Um, but
But
I
once
think
I got on that ship, I slept like a baby.
once you feel that rocking, it's all
Oh
good.
yes. Yes, the getting on the ship, that whole vibe. It's like, I
Yeah,
mean, you feel that vibe as you're walking down that plank to get on the ship.
yeah.
It
And I think
starts there. It starts there. Once you pull up to the port and you see
the
your
ship,
ship,
you're
it
like,
starts there. Yes, you're like, it's cruise day. Like the vloggers do. All the
yes.
cruise vloggers, they're like, it's cruise day. You're like,
Yes. So excited.
yes.
And I think also another important thing to touch on and to note is that there are other parents doing the exact same thing that you're doing, right?
Yes.
Like
Yes. They're
we
doing it.
we have met so many parents throughout our journey, especially on Virgin Voyages. They're like, "Oh yeah, I
Hmm.
got 3 kids at home. I got,
Yes.
a kid or two at home." Like so many parents are doing this. So
Yes.
think about that as well. Like
Think
you're
about
not the
that.
only person.
Right. Right.
Lots of people are doing this.
Yes. And because they need it. And
Yes.
Virgin Voice, girl, well, I really hope to meet Richard Branson one day because I'm gonna tell him
Yes.
he is my best good friend for every single solo mama. He is my best good friend for creating a no kids cruise. I
It
know a
was
lot of people who have a problem with that. I'm like, do you know how many cruise ships there are out there that you can take your kids on?
all of
This is
them.
the this
Except
is
this one.
one. There's like a handful that you kids are not allowed on. This
Yeah.
is one.
Yeah.
There's only a handful out of the hundreds of ships that are out there now.
Yeah.
Only a handful that you can't take them on.
Mm-hmm.
Parents need that, especially the moms. Because I'm sorry, even when you're on vacation, it's still the mom who's getting the kids ready,
Yep.
getting them fed, make sure they get up, make sure the room is clean before we leave, and make
Hmm.
sure we have everything before we leave out. And does everybody have their keys and their this and the towels and the mom is still doing all that.
Oh yeah, vacation with your
It's
kids is
not a break. It's not a break.
it's not a break at all. You're just parenting in another location.
Right. You're being
I-
mom in another location, in a fun location, but you're still being mom.
yes, still
It
being
wears you out. I have met so many moms who have told me that because I now do pet sitting.
mom.
So a lot of parents are going away and they're taking their kids and they're like, I don't know what I was thinking.
Hmm.
This was not a vacation.
No, it's not a vacation.
It's not because the kids are going to still be kids. So they're going to be still fighting with their siblings. They're still going to have meltdowns. They're still going to be picky eaters and what have you. So your mom hat is still on. Your mom duties did not, they don't get left at home.
No,
You
and
still don't have that chance to be down. You just,
the interesting thing about traveling
need
with
it.
a young child is
Yes.
we I have been blessed enough that we have been able to take some amazing vacations with her. She's only 5. She's been on 3 cruises. Um,
I love that. I love that.
and I remember we went on a Carnival cruise. They had the Dr. Seuss breakfast. We went and did that.
That's so
And
cool.
she was so upset because she only met thing 2 and did not meet thing 1. And when we came back from vacation and she was talking to her grandma, and she was like, "How was your vacation, baby?" She was like, "It was okay, but I didn't get to meet thing 1. I only met thing 2." And I was like,
But see,
"Girl,"
of all the stuff that happened on vacation, that's what you,
I was
yeah,
like, "You went to 3 countries and you're talking about you didn't get
that's
to
all she
meet
remembered.
thing
Yeah.
1?"
What she didn't, because that was important to her. So, yeah, I get it. So, I mean, and that guilt doesn't go away as they get older. My son is now over 20 years old. I took my very first solo cruise. It wasn't my first cruise without him, but it was my first solo cruise.
Mm-hmm.
And it was over the New Year's Eve holiday, but it wasn't planned that way. He was supposed to come with me. He couldn't go because he didn't get his passport and he wasn't able to get off work in time because he didn't put in the time. He didn't put in the leave request because he was trying to get his, passport.
Mm-hmm.
And so he waited to the last minute and so he couldn't go. And even at that age, he's an adult. And
Mm-hmm.
even then I missed him like crazy.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it was really hard because it was so in my face with all these other kids. The ship
Mm.
was literally half kids. It was
Wow.
that many kids because it was New Year. So they're traveling for that break, that,
Right.
what is that, that winter break that they're out.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really, really hard, but I pressed through it because I'm like, I needed that break. I mean, like I said, I'm pet sitting, and I get it how pet parents need a break, just like moms of real kids need a break
Yeah.
because you're constantly caring for these pets. And they can
Mm-hmm.
be a lot, and they
Yeah.
can't talk to you and say, "I need to go to the bathroom." They can't talk to you and say, "I'm anxious," or you can read their body language after a while once you understand it. But if they just sit there and stare at you and they're like, because
You're like,
it
what am I
takes me
supposed to do with that?
right. I'm like, okay, what do you want? I fed you, I took you out, what? And they're just staring at you like, okay, didn't you forget something?
Right.
So I get it. And so I was able to work through it because you have to still put strategies in place for yourself to push through those guilty moments. So
Yes.
for me, I would go and do something that I really love doing. For me, it's ice cream. I would go
Mm.
get some ice cream.
I
Go
love the
find
ice
a,
cream on Virgin. It's so good.
yes, go find a private spot where there's no children
Mm-hmm.
and go enjoy my ice cream.
Yeah.
Or I would get one of those fruity drinks that they make and just go sit somewhere. I love being in the jacuzzi, but on the holiday cruises, they don't really enforce the jacuzzi rules like they should be. So kids are in there just splashing like it's a pool, and no, no.
No, no. And
I'm
that's
like, no, no,
the
no. So when
amazing
I
thing.
heard about Virgin Voyages, I was like, babe, that is the way. Woo-hoo! That's gonna be it from now on, especially when I go on the holidays. And I really think I'm gonna do more holiday cruising
Mm-hmm.
because for pet sitting, I'm away a lot for the holidays. So
Yeah.
because I do it for the pet owners so they can go on vacation. I'm like, I'm gonna start taking back my holidays and do something for me. My son is good and grown. He's working. If
Mm-hmm.
he can join me, fine. If not, that's fine too.
That's okay too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so glad that Virgin came along because, to your
Yes.
point, if I'm not with my kid, I
I
don't
don't want to
really
see
want
any
to.
of it.
I don't want to see nobody else kids. I'm
I don't
sorry.
want to see him, and I definitely don't want to hear him. I don't want to hear no screaming, no
Yeah,
crying, no whining. I don't want to see the back talk and the no.
I don't know what
Mm-mm.
to do with that. So
Mm-mm.
it was a beautiful, lovely experience. So now, if we're doing a solo trip without our child, it's Virgin.
Virgin, yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
that's it. Like we're not
That's
doing
it. Yep.
anything else.
That's it. Yep. Yep. Okay. So, can you describe the benefits that you received and positive experiences that you gained from cruising without your child?
Yeah, for sure. I would say it allowed me to really take my mom hat off, right? Like, because being a mom is a 24/7 job. Like,
24/7. Thank you.
it does not stop. Not when you're
No.
asleep, not when you're sick, not when you're
And
tired,
not when you're on vacation with your child.
not
It
when you're on
doesn't stop.
vacation with your child. So, like, it really allowed me to take off that mom hat and just be Electa or just be the wife version of myself.
Mhm.
Really tap into
Just be a
those.
woman.
Just be a
Just be
woman,
a
like, just
woman.
be
A
me.
good and grown adult woman having adult fun. You don't have to watch what you say, how
Yeah,
you say it.
I can fully be my authentic self, so I
Yes.
really appreciate that part of it. Also, like, it really allowed me to relax. Like, there is no rest for the weary when it comes to being a mom. So, when you're home with your kid, like, there is really no rest or relaxation unless they're out of the
Mhm.
house at school or something.
Right.
Um, so it allowed me to rest. And when I come back, I'm able to tap into being a mom and be more present and be
Yes.
more patient,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
understanding because I was allowed the opportunity to like reset. Um,
Exactly. Exactly.
because a mom burnout is real. Like
It is. That
that,
rest and reset is necessary. It is
necessary.
critical, I would say,
Yeah.
to help you come back as a better version, a better mom, a better employee, better wife, better everything.
Mhm.
as a whole. It's a holistic treatment, I say.
Yeah.
Cruise does that better than any other vacation.
Mhm.
Because mainly being out on the water does that. Being in, on, or near water, studies have shown make a huge difference in our mental wellness.
That makes a lot of sense to me because I
Huge difference.
also
And you
so
get all that on the cruise. You're
yeah.
on the ship, so you're on the water. You're near water because they're always going to these beaches at these beautiful, exquisite locations in other
Yes.
countries. And you get in water because of the jacuzzis in the pool and the
Mhm.
ocean when you go to the beaches. So
Yeah.
you get it all. You
Mhm.
get it all right there.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that.
Hmm.
Um I'm so much more of a better mom when I take the time for me.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so while you were on your first cruise, how did you stay in touch with your child? And did that help to alleviate some of your anxiety, or did it make it worse hearing her voice?
Ooh, that's a good question. So we stayed in touch. Shout out to Virgin for having Wi-Fi included. Um, we
Yeah.
would we would FaceTime. So we would schedule a call nightly after dinner, but before bed. We would check in with her, ask her about her day. She would tell us what's been going on, what she did. And that really allowed her the opportunity to know, like, before I go to bed, I'm going to speak to my mom. Um, and like that gave her something to look forward to and just allowed
Mhm.
for us to see her and know that she's okay. Um, I would say for the most part, during my travels, she has been fine. Like, there's never been any moments where she's just like, please come home. Like, I need you here. There's been a few moments here and there where she's just like, I really, really miss you. And I remind her in those moments, like, it is totally okay for you to miss me. I miss you
Mhm.
too. And I'll be back soon. And that's really just it. Like, really confirming how she feels, allowing her to know that that's okay,
That's
and
yeah,
also
yeah,
allowing her to know, like, and I'll be back, right?
right.
So that's been helpful. I think having a schedule or having some sort of routine around when you're in communication with your child is helpful because the last thing you want is them calling you all day, right?
Hmm.
Like, I need
Hmm.
this, I want that. She said this. No, I don't want. No, 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 no. We're not doing all of that. One
No. Yeah.
call. And our nanny was very communicative with us. So she would send us text updates, pictures, things like that to check in with us, let us know that she was fine, what they
Hmm.
had been doing, what she was eating, all of that good stuff. So that helped as well.
Okay. Okay. That's good to know. I hope everybody watching this in the future will really be taking notes and listening to all of these nuggets that she's talking about because she does have a younger child. The
Hmm.
child is neurodivergent. She's got ADHD. Those are two big, big issues that can keep women's moms stop dead in their tracks for even thinking about leaving the child because
Hmm.
they're young and they're neurodivergent.
Hmm.
So these are really, really good tips that you're giving us. Thank you so much, Electa.
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
So yeah. So for me, when I would do, because when I did my first cruise without him,
Hmm.
like I said, he was about to turn 13, and I was on the ship when he turned 13 on his birthday. So
Mm.
I called him on his birthday, but I did it in port.
Hmm.
So I went to a place that had free Wi-Fi at one of the ports, and I called him there so I could do a FaceTime, like you said.
Hmm.
But we were in another country, so I was showing him around and taking him with me as I was doing different activities in that port. So
Yeah.
that's how I had done it a couple of times. Even with the New Year's Eve cruise, I called him when I was at port.
Hmm.
I did have the Wi-Fi, but I called him when I got to port and used the free Wi-Fi there. So it felt like I was bringing him along with me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. I think
Hmm.
showing the kids what you've
What you're
experienced.
doing. Uh-huh.
Another thing that we do is we always bring something back for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So something that we find along the way of our travels, we let her know we always have a surprise for her when we get back. So that's something that she really looks forward to as well. Um,
Uh-huh. Mhm.
it's something I bring up when I talk to her, like, we're coming back with a surprise for you. We got a little something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she knows that we're also thinking about her while we're away.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's a very good idea. Very good idea. Okay. How has taking a cruise without your daughter impacted your perspective on self-care and personal time as a mom of a neurodivergent child?
It just reinforced for me how important it is. Um, as moms, I think none of the moms that I know take enough breaks, right? Like we try to squeeze it in where we can. I know how incredibly difficult it can be with a busy life, but it is something that we have to prioritize because
Hmm.
burnout is real. It has an effect on not only just your physical health, but your mental health as well. And it's so important to prioritize that. And I think through travel, I have learned to lean into that a little bit more. Like, I know for this trip coming up, I'm going to give me a massage. Like, I'm going to have some time in a spa. Like,
Yes,
I'm
yes. Some
going to
more
really,
me time. Yep, some more
yeah,
me time, self-care. Yes,
I'm
yes.
definitely going to take advantage of this opportunity and really try to fit in as much relaxation as I can.
Okay, okay. Um, so tell me, for your very first time on Virgin Voyages,
Mhm.
what what was your reaction? Because it's so different
Yeah.
from everybody else. And then, yeah, tell me what your reaction was beyond that, and then tell me the difference in the vibe of just no
Ooh.
kids around, no kids noise, no kids activities, no kids food, no buffet, no none of that. What was your reaction to all of that? Take us through that.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm a researcher at heart. So like
Me too.
before
Yeah.
I even went, like I watched a ton of YouTube
Yes.
videos, a ton of different content to see what
Yep.
people were talking about, what their experience was like what to
Mm-hmm.
expect. Joined a
Yep.
bunch of Facebook groups to like get intel and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't unprepared for how different it would be. Like I
Yeah.
had heard people talk, and this is 2021 that we did our first one, so
Mhm.
Virgin was still like really new.
New. Yeah. Yeah,
So there
yeah,
wasn't.
new to the U.S. A lot of people don't know Virgin has been around for a while, but it was over in Europe.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it started over there. It came over here. I want to say 2007, so it's new for us. I mean,
Yeah,
not 2007, 2000, what, seven? Because it hadn't been here that long. It's 2017 or 15, something like that.
I th-
It
I
has not been here in the States that long. It's very new for us.
yeah, I think they were supposed to do their inaugural cruise in 2020, but
Yeah.
because of
And because of COVID,
COVID,
yeah, they had to push
a
it
lot
back.
of them got pushed back. So like
Right.
when I went in August of 2021, they had just started to like cruise, and they
Yeah.
still weren't cruising at full capacity. If I remember correctly, our first
Mm-hmm.
cruise was about 50% capacity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they still were, gauging the ships and trying to figure out like what's the right source for it.
Yeah.
Um, I am a super open person, like being a neurodivergent person, someone with ADHD. I'm open to everything. So like I was cool. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, this is gonna be a vibe. I know I'm gonna have a good time. It's so lively, right? Like I really enjoy the happenings cast. I love how excited people feel to be there. Um, it is much different. Like I'm a cruiser. I've been on Disney, Carnival, Norwegian, Royal, Virgin. So most of the main ones
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have
I've been
taken.
on all of them except for Disney. Yeah.
Disney with the kids is amazing. Won't lie.
I, yeah. Yeah. But my son was never into Disney, so I never felt the need to do that. And I even showed him YouTube videos of the cruise ship, and all he talked about was the water roller coaster, but that
Yeah.
was it. I'm like, yeah, we're not spending $5,000 for a water roller coaster. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no,
for sure.
yeah.
Um, but I love Virgin. Like, I'll be honest, I'm super open. I love how all different types of people come together and just have a
Mm-hmm,
good time. I
mm-hmm.
will say everything feels much more like grown and sexy
Yes, yes.
because people are more open because
Open, yeah.
they don't have to filter themselves because kids are
Right,
around.
right, yeah. So
Um,
they're free to just be authentically themselves.
yes,
Whatever that looks like, whatever that feels like, that's what they're doing on Virgin.
yes, a
Like
hundred.
you said, I've done a ton of research. I haven't done it yet because I'm pet sitting, so I'm literally booked up until the end of this year.
Oh
So
wow,
I can't do any cruising until next year. But
yeah,
I plan to go full force next year, and I'm going to book my pet sit around the cruise embarkation ports.
yeah,
So
that makes sense.
I'll be right there.
Yeah, no, it's a vibe. It's a lot of fun. Um, I really enjoy the events that they have. I enjoy the happening cast. I've heard about the secret shows. I've never gotten an invite. Maybe this time.
Mhm.
Scarlet Night is a blast. Um,
Did you jump in the pool with your with your clothes on?
I did
I
not,
see
but
that on so
I
many videos. I'm like, you know what? That looks like fun. I don't know if I'd have the nerve to do that, but it's like, what the heck?
I am. So I have not done it yet. This will be our third one. But I said I may just put on a red swimsuit under my
Yeah,
clothes
right.
and
Underneath, yep. And just
just
do it.
jump
Yep.
in.
Yep.
Because it does look like a lot of fun.
Uh-huh.
But I want to be prepared. I don't want to just
Right.
jump.
Right. Yeah. I'll just spur of the moment jump in there with my fancy dress on. Yeah, no.
Yeah, yeah. So, because then it's like
Not that spontaneous.
then you gotta go change and like dry off and stuff. Like
Yeah,
it's a whole
yeah,
thing. So, because
yeah.
being
Maybe a nice sundress or something for the
yeah,
party, and then you can slip that off and have your bathing suit underneath, like you said. And then,
yeah, 100%. But yeah, it's a good time. I recommend it for everyone. I'm actually soon enough. I will be a travel agent and will be able to book people on Virgin. So because I have been like such an advocate for it, I have personally gotten at least 10 people to go try Virgin because I have spoken so highly of it. And
mhm.
everyone always comes back and was like, oh my God, that was like the best cruise I've ever
Yes,
been on.
yes.
And I'm like, I told you. So now I've
Hmm.
decided, my husband encouraged me. He was like, just get your license so you can go ahead and just book people. So that
Yeah,
is something that I will hopefully have completed before the end of this year.
yeah. And see, I'm at the opposite end of that. I love putting the groups together to
Hmm.
cruise. So I'm actually going to put together one for a pre-Mother's Day
Hmm.
2025 for moms like us. All moms are welcome to go, but I'm specifically targeting moms with neurodivergent children to
Hmm.
take that break. Get your pre-Mother's Day gift. Your cruise is your gift
Yeah.
before Mother's Day because a lot of them don't get a chance to just even relax on Mother's Day. They just don't, especially if they have really high needs kids like extreme autism and some other, they may have a physical disability. You can't take a break,
No.
even on Mother's Day.
No.
So this group cruise that we're going to do is going to be for those moms. We've only got 10 slots, so I'm going to put a link in the description box for those who want to sign up. Virgin Voyages lets you put, what is it, I think at least four in a room. Is that right? You can
Yeah,
book
I
four
believe
in the
some
cabin.
rooms can do 4.
Yeah, you can book four in a cabin, so you can book it however you want, but we're only holding 10 cabins, and one of those will be not mine, so it's actually going to be 9 cabins. So yeah, that's definitely coming up.
Nice.
Stay in touch. Definitely subscribe to the channel so you all can get updates because I'm going to keep talking, pushing, giving you all information. Sign up and you'll get the emails with the specific details. Only the people who sign up and give me their email address will be getting specific details about the cruise and what we're going to be doing. They'll have say so. They'll help me just they can help decide on what ports they want to go to, or they can help me decide what excursions they will want to do at the port, how
Mhm.
long we can cruise, because I know everybody can't cruise at the same time. I'm my time is unlimited right now, is how long I can cruise, but
Yeah.
some can only go 4 nights, some are okay going 7, 8 nights. So we can decide those things together. I would love to have their input. I don't
Yeah.
want this to just be all me. I want us to be all do something that a little everybody wants to do. So, but you guys sign up, give your email, and we can really start getting this thing going. I'm gonna start pushing out more videos about
Mhm.
the cruise to really get the word out there. So, um, let's see. So for my final question, and then we'll start wrapping up.
Okay.
What advice would you give to other single moms or just moms of neurodivergent children who don't get that chance to get a break? What advice would you give them when they're considering a solo cruise, but they're feeling hesitant due to guilt or anxiety?
Just book it. Just book it because your guilt or anxiety isn't going to go away. So if you're waiting for that moment to feel guilt free or to feel anxiety free about this, it's not coming. Uh the best thing you can
Mm-mm.
do is just jump in with 2 feet. Of course, have an action plan for your child. You know your child better than anyone else, so how you prepare for your child may look a little bit differently. But I think having a plans don't always go according. That's okay. Have a backup plan. But as long as you leave knowing that your child is well taken care of and safe, no, they might not be exactly cared for in the way that you would care for them. But knowing that someone is going to care for them who loves them, who is going to follow your wishes to the best of their ability, I think that is the most important thing. But just
Yes.
book that trip, girl. Don't wait.
Just book it.
Just book it.
Book it, book it, book it. Um, I would add to that, just to recap on your strategies that you mentioned. For you moms who are hesitant, still feeling guilty, like I said, I did my first solo cruise by myself, New Year's Eve, and I still felt guilty
Hmm.
that my son couldn't go. Like I said, he's over 20. So it doesn't go away, it doesn't stop.
Nope.
You just have to put strategies in place and get through it. Now, for him being grown, I didn't have to do any of that.
Hmm.
But if he was younger, like your child, definitely those strategies you mentioned, like taking them on some kind of fun activity or overnight trip, weekend trip, whatever, before your cruise,
Hmm.
so they can have some kind of fun.
Yeah.
Create a list, a check sheet for whoever you're handing them over to follow your wishes.
Hmm.
Definitely make sure you're comfortable with who you're giving them over to, that you trust them explicitly with your child. And I mean that they would lay down their life, just like you would lay down. That's the kind of trust I'm talking about.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, it may not always be family.
Hmm.
It's like we talked about, family likes to be more lenient. That's my grandbaby, let him do whatever or what it. No, no, I
Yeah.
need you to follow this schedule. I need you to give them this food. No, they can't have that. No,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, they need to follow your wishes. You are the mom. Respect that. Period. Point blank.
Hmm.
Period. Respect that. And so, doing like you said, the FaceTime or whatever while you're either on the ship or in port, so they can see you. You have that connection while you're away.
Hmm.
If that's going to make you more anxious, or if you think it's going to make them more anxious, then don't do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't
An
do it.
alternative to that is have their caretaker send you videos, right? If you're like, I don't want to talk to them because it's going to trigger me and it's going to upset them, just make
Mhm.
sure they're updating you. They can send you videos, they can send you pictures, just so you know that your child is safe, right? Because I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that is the biggest mental hurdle.
Right. Another thing is YouTube. There's so many vloggers out there, cruise vloggers that are doing Virgin Voyage cruises, every aspect of the cruise. Show them some of those videos. From the
Mm-hmm.
time you plan that cruise till it's time to go away, show them those videos, the embarkation process. This is what mommy's going to be doing. When
Mm-hmm.
they go to the Bimini private island, mommy's going to be there. See, this is what mommy's going to be doing. I might bring you a special gift back from here, something
Yeah.
like that, to get them engaged and let them think that they're a part of the process. Let them think that they're helping you even plan the cruise. Because some of the kids love to do that. They love to be involved. They like to help.
Yeah.
Their version of help. Yeah. Yeah. So those are just some points to keep in mind. But for all moms, you need to take a break. You definitely need to take time for yourself, whether that's on a cruise, a weekend getaway, or just a day at the beach. You
Mm-hmm.
may just have time to just go to a restaurant by yourself or a movie by yourself. That may be all you have time to do for
Yeah.
now. Start small and then work your way up. I
Mm-hmm.
have a course coming up for moms who want to take that step but are not sure how to get started. I have a course that's going to walk you through that, hand holding to really help you work through that step by step. The guilt, the regret, the worry, what to do, what not to do, how to ignore the naysayers, how to just tell family, thank you, but I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you just need that. Sometimes you need that support, that help in doing that. So
Yeah.
I got you. I got you. Keep you abreast of when that course is ready. Um, Miss Electa, do you have any last minute comments that you'd like to say, suggestions, advice, anything?
No, nothing specifically, but I will say I'm available on social media. All of my emazing17 everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Mhm.
Well, not Facebook, elected
Yeah.
content on Facebook.
And we'll put your links down in the description box as well.
Cool. So any mom that has questions or you're just like, hey, I just need some camaraderie, like feel free to hit me up. Give me some time though, because busy mom life. But I promise anyone who reaches out, I'll be happy to talk to you and give you any specific pointers that I can.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. For any of you who are wondering about this beautiful Virgin Voyage ship, this is the Valiant Lady.
And I will
I
be
chose her. I chose her because she's a sister mermaid on the hull
yes,
of the ship. Okay, smack on the front of the ship. Beautiful
yes,
ebony sister on the front of this ship.
beautiful. And
Beautiful.
I will be
Oh
traveling
my
on
gosh,
her
she
next
is
month.
gorgeous.
I am so excited. We've been on Scarlet Lady twice. This will be our first time on Valiant Lady. So I'm so
Hmm.
excited to meet the
Yeah.
beautiful Valiant Lady on Virgin Voyage.
Yes, yes. And that's the ship that I have chosen for us to do our pre-Mother's Day cruise on. It will
Nice.
definitely be on Valiant Lady. I'm sorry, that's one thing you all will not have any say so on. Yeah, that's the ship we going on. That's the one we going on. So
That's where we're going.
that's what we
Nice.
going on. So yeah, you guys email me. You see my email on the screen, ADHDKUTIE@gmail.com. No, I am not a travel agent, but I do get together groups and I work with travel agents. My travel agent that I specifically use for Virgin Voyages, one is the top 10 travel agents. So they know what they're doing. It is a couple. They know what they're doing. Yes,
Mhm.
I know I said single moms. We can do one for single dads for Father's Day if that's something that the men are interested in. If they're listening to it, email me, let me know. We can even talk to Electa, get some ideas because I'm sure she's seen some single dads on Virgin Voyages. I
Yeah.
would love to talk to single dads. If there are any single or solo parents, and when I say solo, that means you may have a partner, but you're doing most of the work either because that other partner is not actively in the child's life or not actively involved because they're away, either having to work, they may be a trucker, so they're always on the road, whatever. You're a solo parent, so you're still doing it all by yourself.
Hmm.
If that's you, please email me. I would love to interview you like we've done Electa to hear your story. Get your voice out there so you can talk to other parents and encourage them to let them know you need this. This
Mhm.
is not just a want, this is a need for you to help you recuperate, to rest, in some cases, to heal from
Mhm.
accident, from trauma, from burnout, from frustration. It is so tranquil and healing to go on a cruise ship, even if it's just a weekend cruise. They actually have weekend cruises.
Yeah.
They're they're 3 nights, and some of them are 4 nights. They're called extended weekends. But you can do that. You can always start with that if you're anxious about going on a cruise for the first time. But I
Mhm.
would say definitely do it. Definitely do it. I'll put
100%.
links. I'll put links down in the description box for a book that I have about that, and for the cruise, the pre-Mother's Day cruise that I have coming up. I really hope to see you all on this cruise. But again, like I said, we've only got 10 cabins. Once they're gone, they're gone. This is my first group, so I want to keep it small. I want to be able to manage it. I want to be able to manage. If anybody would like to be the group leader, please step forward. You can have that hat. You can have it. I'm just organizing. So, um, Miss Electa, I cannot thank you enough for sharing your story and your experiences.
Of course.
Good luck and have a blast on your cruise next month, right? Next month, right? So
Yes.
October, we're talking October.
Yep. The first week of October. Super excited.
Yes, yes. Next year, I want to do a Thanksgiving cruise
Ooh, that sounds fun.
to give, yes, for nothing, for if for no other reason, to give mom a break from having to cook and
Yeah.
clean up and all that pre-Thanksgiving stuff that you do, and yeah, to give you a break from all that.
Yeah, for sure.
To give you a break from all that. We can do Virgin Voyages again if you want to do that without your kids. If you feel strongly enough and you just don't want to cruise without your kids, you want your kids with you on Thanksgiving, then we can do another cruise and do it that way. That's fine.
Hmm.
Either way is fine, but I really want them to have that break and get away for Thanksgiving and have somebody pamper them for a while.
Yeah,
Have somebody
necessary.
pamper, have somebody cook for them, have somebody else do the cleanup. Because Thanksgiving cleanup is like no other cleanup.
You're right about that.
Yes, yes. So, all right, we're going to wrap this up. It's been a little over an hour. I have truly enjoyed talking to you, Miss Electa. I hope you will come back
Of
and speak
course.
with us again. Definitely keep us up to date with your travel agent journey and getting that license. Because once you get licensed, I can definitely start using you for my groups. And do you have anything else
No,
that
I
you,
think, I think
want to
we
add
covered
before
it
we close it
all.
out?
I think we covered it all. I appreciate you for allowing me to be on your platform and talk to moms out there. I hope this was helpful to moms who are considering or planning. Like I said, happy to be a resource.
Yes,
I hope that you
yes,
guys enjoy your Mother's Day trip. That sounds awesome.
yes, yes. So, yeah, we're definitely working on getting it together. And like I said, if it doesn't work out for whatever reason, I'm still going.
You're like, I'm going regardless.
I'm going to be on that ship. I want to go for my birthday to
Hmm.
check it out. But if not, I'm going to be on that Mother's Day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on that pre-Mother's Day cruise. But and I'll do more videos on that to take you all through the process because people seem to love that, all the yeah. They
Yeah.
seem to love that. We'll do that. Okay. So thank you so much, Miss Electa.
Of
Thank you,
course.
thank you, thank you. Enjoy your cruise. Give that baby a big hug. And for those moms listening, I really hope that this has made an impact and made a difference on how you view this, how you view self care, taking a cruise, just taking that first step to plan it
Hmm.
will help in so many ways. Watch the YouTube videos, follow me on my channel, get as much information and resources as you can before you go. That will really help to alleviate a lot of that anxiety for you. And
Mhm.
you can see that it can be done even with a younger child. Like she said, her first solo cruise without her child when the child was 3,
Yeah.
and she's neurodivergent. So it can be done. You need it. You need it. Okay, you guys, enjoy the rest of your week and the rest of your day. Thank
Thank you.
you. Bye.